Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode, I'm going to be using the Ferrari Enzo at Tokyo Expressway 600. It actually has been close to a year since I've actually have done this build. Last time I did try this build, the car actually did pretty well at Tokyo Expressway. The car felt smooth, decently good speed, and of course, really good for fuel mileage. So it's been over a year, of course, since the last time I'd done it, and I figured it would be a good time to see if this car is still a good car to choose at Tokyo Expressway. So I'll be showcasing on how to find this car, how to obtain it, and ways of how to actually get the car. And of course, I'll be showcasing the parts you'll need from car customization, and of course, the setup build. So let's go ahead, jump into the episode. First stage, of course, is going to go to Brand Central. To find this car, it's going to be under Europe, and after you click on Europe, it's going to be under Italy. Of course, it should be, I think, the very first category to manufacturer, if not second one, to choose from. After that, you just click on Showroom, and it's going to be toward the very far end of the list. Now, you can see the last three cars here actually do have a little bit of an icon on top of their own panel, which I'll discuss in a little bit. Price tag's about 2.5 million credits, so this car is actually pretty hefty, with an average PP points about 650 overall. EMR drivetrain with a good bit of horsepower, decently good torque, and of course it weighs a little bit over 2,700 pounds. And like I said before, that little icon is actually a special invite to grab this car. Now, if you're not familiar to the game, there are certain brands out there that needs an invite for you to have to buy these special rare cars. And in this screen, might be a little bit dark, but that little black object right there down the bottom of the screen is what you're going to look out for. You can actually find these in 3-star tickets, 4-star tickets, but I think 4-star tickets might be your best bet. Once it does land on it, whatever brand it is, like Pagani or Ferrari or any other brand, it gives you about a 30-day window to use that invitation to buy special cars before it expires. Now, a second way around this is you can actually buy it once you reach collector level 70, which I am currently right now. So once you reach the new last level in the game, that pretty much gives you 100% guaranteed for you to actually buy the car without having an invite. Now, one thing I kind of do wish that if you did reach level 70, I would wish they would remove that option and put a car or more credits. Now, for the livery, if you guys did miss it, I do have a special F1 livery. If you want to go ahead and follow me in the game, that way if we do so many episodes, I'll have all the liveries I showcase in my newsfeed, and there's the instructions right there. Now, let's say you haven't followed me in the game yet. I'll go ahead and showcase the hashtags. There they are right there. But it should be pretty easy to find those this particular livery. Now, if you want the parts from this livery from the car, I actually did one change, and I did change the rims, and that was pretty much it. So change to these rims, and after you select these rims, just keep everything as is. There's nothing really to change anything to the rims. Just keep them as is as soon as you get these particular rims. For your special parts, the only thing to worry about is going to be your wing. We're going to choose the custom wing set. It doesn't really matter what kind of height you set at. I would recommend keeping it under medium, and that's going to be pretty much be it for all the parts you'll need from car customization. So overall, pretty simple. Just make sure you have the right rims and of course the custom wing. For our tune, as you can see, we got sport hard tires. Our suspension is going to be set to normal as well. Fully customized differential. I didn't change anything to it, but if you want to change anything, I would recommend change the torque to 5. Here's our rear downforce, but it's going to be a key place, so make sure you just pause the episode, copy that. You can also copy the ballast and copy the power restrictor number as well. Fully customized manual transmission with that kilometers, and that's going to be it for this car. Since the car is over 600 plus PP points, there's going to be a good bit of nerfing involved, and that's why there was not a whole lot of parts involved in this tune. So after you get everything set out for the car, we can get started with this race. Now, it's going to take the car a little while to get up to speed. The car generally has okay-ish acceleration and decently good speed. I think the 1 or 2 elements that really helps it in this particular race is the handling and also the fuel. This is a MR, so you really don't have to worry about the car being understeer at all. It actually felt pretty smooth in this race. So if you're a big MR fan, then this car should feel pretty pleasant to drive if in your driving style. Also, this car is a naturally aspirated, so I would recommend that if you do drive this car on manual setting, that once you do see your RPM tracker bar turns to purple just a little bit, that's probably when you're going to shift. That's just my suggestion. If you want to wait till it actually gets closer to when it flashes to the turquoise bar, that's up to your decision. But as we make it through the race, we just now got ourselves P7. We're right behind the 2001 Porsche 911, and you know, like I said before, the car actually felt pretty good. And I think the best part for this car is going to probably be Sector 2. That's my own suggestion. It does have decently good speed, so you know, you're going to be at least possibly the third fastest car in this track. I mean, when I'm talking about close gap, you're going to be very, very similar to pace with the Honda NSX. So as we make our way to that very tricky hairpin, we're going to actually send it a little bit deep into the corner. We do brake a little bit early. We're trying to find a way around the Porsche. We're going to try to take a interesting line through this corner. We're going to try to get back on the power. We do get a little bit loose, but thankfully we do manage to recover. And right here, I'm going to use the GTR as a pick, and I'm going to be using its slipstream to get around both the Porsche and the Elgin Supra. And after we get into the tunnel, we're going to follow right behind it. That way we get ourselves some more slipstream until we get closer to both the RX-7 Ria and the other Elgin Impreza. As I did mention before, this car does have decently good speed, but it's not nearly as good compared to the GTR or the NSX. Almost made contact with the old Impreza, and once we get to turn 1, we're going to go 3 wide, and we're going to actually send this car into the corner. We're going to send it deep, probably too deep in my opinion. We just couldn't get it slowed down, and as you can see, we forced ourselves to the wall, and the GTR actually messes up too. But after this mistake, we actually was able to retake P3 from the GTR, despite making that critical error. I really thought we would be able to slow down just enough to make the move work, but unfortunately the track was still a little bit wet, couldn't get the traction like I needed to, and just found ourselves in the wall. Now, as we are halfway through lap 2, we still have a good shot to get P2 from the RX-7 Ria. You can see we're closing very quickly in some of these turns through Sector 2. Once we get to this corner right here, we're going to follow right close to it. We're going to brake a little early, get ourselves a good apex, try to get a good run, which we do, but we give a little up tap. That little tap right there was not planned. Accidentally made contact and got ourselves P2 until later on we actually did manage to get the lead around lap 3, and as we're here on lap number 5, it's going to be our hot lap. So I would recommend you just stay behind, watch this hot lap, and I'll be right back for our pit strategy. As we're about to go later in the race, this is going to be our only lap to make our pit stop, lap 8. So we're going to pit the same lap as the RX-7 Mia, and for this particular pit stop, it's going to be fuel only. The tires are still in really good shape, so there's no real need to worry about changing tires. For fuel wise, I would recommend probably give or take about a little bit past 50% on the fuel. Of course, you can go a little bit past the diamond icon. It's also another good indication as well. Once we got back on track, we did a couple of solo time trial laps, and it's going to be a pretty solid 26-24 give or take, which was actually pretty much close around the same time as we did the last go around. So nothing really has changed. Just probably improved maybe around a second, give or take. And yeah, the car did great. Now, like I did mention before, if this car does not help you out at Tokyo, then I would recommend just save the car and just use it for Le Mans. Unfortunately for us, we did make those 2 errors, which cost us our clearance bonus, and that's going to be it for the episode. Now, for the next episode, I'm going to take a little break from Tokyo Expressway. It's been a while since we've done ASR Digna build, so I figured, why not go back to it? So, this particular build is going to be using the Peugeot Le Mans prototype, as you can see right there. A lovely car, perhaps the most iconic car, especially in the Forza Motorsport 3 and Forza Motorsport 4 game. So, can't wait to use this jewel again at this track, see what we can do with it. It's going to be our first time actually using this car for this track, which is quite shocking. But yeah, can't wait to look forward to it. Hopefully that tune will help out, and hopefully this tune you saw today helps out. And until then, I'll see you guys later. So that is going to be for today's episode. Hopefully this particular build has helped you out in Gran Turismo 7. If you guys have any suggestions or any other builds you want me to try out, you're more than welcome to add those to the comments below, and I'll try my best to do them. Until then, hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and if you guys would like to subscribe to the channel, you're more than welcome to do so as well, as I'll have some more stuff coming up in the next couple days. Until then, see you later and take care.